This is a national level webinar series and it is organized by the International Longevity Center India with the support of Garda Chemicals Limited. Today, we are very lucky to have Dr. Anand Ambali with us. He is going to talk about promoting active aging. I will introduce him now and then we will begin the session. Dr. Anand Ambali is a professor of medicine at BLDE deemed university, Shri B.M. Patil Medical College Hospital and Research Center, Vijayapura, Karnataka, and he has established the geriatric clinic in the year 2007. He is a recipient of State Award in 2016 from the government of Karnataka for the best geriatric services. He has been a fellow of ICP, GSI, Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, and scholar of Commonwealth Commission UK from MSc in Dementia from University of Stirling, Scotland. He has been consultant to various groups and trusts, including Tata Trust and Geriatric Society of India. He has 75 publications and 5 orations to his credit, and he is on editorial board of various journals and has authored 2 books as co-editor and associate editor. To reach the unreached, he has been offering health services to seniors in village every month on 4th Sunday. And that's a really great profile. We are happy to have you here, sir. Welcome. Okay, and I've
मुझे डॉक्टर प्रताप भाई सभी बीके परिवार से मिलना चाहते हैं। मुझे मैसेज मिला, मैं कंफर्म करने के लिए फिर पूछा विशाल भाई को, जीवी मोदी का भी है क्या उनका?
हेलो, okay.
11 बजे
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, actually someone was speaking. I thought you were, but okay, that's a short profile, and I welcome you here, and I request you to please start the session. Thank you.
Thank you. So nice of you to have introduced me. At the outset, I like to convey my sincere thanks to International Longevity Center India and Pune branch and Mrs. Anjali Raje Madam for giving me this privileged opportunity, and also this program being associated with Garda Chemicals also. Thanks for their executive members, and this privileged moment for me because I have been associated with the International Longevity Center for a long time and being a life member, and I did had an opportunity to meet Sir S.D. Gokhale sir long back, very long back, and for a short time I am still following his preachings, what he has shown the way. It is definitely a privilege to be part of this program because Gokhale sir and the team and the present team have been creating a lot of, have already created a strong support system, base system to help senior citizens, and we are part of that system that we are taking it to the next step. So I sincerely thank all the team members for giving me this opportunity, and I am aware that the audience is a mixed one. So we have medical as well as non-medical persons in the audience. So I have kept my discussion so that it can help both the type of people. So I bring greetings to you from the geriatric clinic. As Madam rightly mentioned, we are running since 2007 non-stop for last 13 years. We also have a dementia clinic, and we have a state-of-art immunization clinic exclusively for senior citizens of this area, apart from providing health services to the older people. So we here at Geriatric Clinic are taking care or providing services not only from the health service point of view, also from the social point of view as well. So in next 40 minutes, I shall share my views and of course evidence-based views on how to improve quality of life and what active aging actually means and how we should go through in your life to have an active aging. The most important goal for any one of us, either we are taking care of our senior parents, grandparents, as a clinician or as a caregiver, the main important goal is to prevent a disability in the older people. That is very, very important because scientific evidence says, and I hope many of you senior citizens here, they agree with me that they fear disability rather than the death. So the senior citizens fear disability. They want, अरे हमको जाना है, पटकने जाना है. मतलब we don't want to be bedridden. I don't want to be operated. I don't want to stay in a hospital or a bed for months together and then leave this world. So preventing a disability should be our priority, and that is where active aging concept comes. And of course, we all should ensure that our seniors get and dignified death, which is their due. So in this regard, how to proceed, we will share certain points in clinical features as well as in the reality as well as the family members. Now, as I mentioned that this lecture is not only for the doctors, it is also for any person today who is participating or who will be listening to this, who is a caregiver for the older people at their home or a caregiver home or a nursing home. In all these setups, we should ensure that our older people have a concept of active aging. So active aging is the concept is the old person above 60 years or 80 years or 100 years, he continues to participate in social, economic, cultural, spiritual and civic affairs. The concept of telling that I am still working, I am going to office even at the 70 years, but I don't do anything else, that doesn't form the concept of active aging. Just I am doing my job 9 to 5 and coming back at the age of 70 years, okay, fine. So that doesn't form active aging, but are you active socially? Are you active culturally? So all these things matters in the concept of active aging. So what we should understand is the terminology is called health span and the lifespan. The lifespan is the type of years why we are intended to live. Human beings are intended to live for 100 years. Okay, now how long we live? It now again depends upon the life expectancy. So in India now the life expectancy is 67 years as on now. So that is very, very important concept that has come up. Longevity has come through the population. Health span is how active he is till the end of life. That is more important. Now, just to quote an example, we had a 90-year-old lady. She is bedridden for last 10 years. So for her, it is the health span is only 80 years. She was active till the age of 80 years. But next 10 years, she was bedridden, totally bedridden for various reasons. So that adds only to the lifespan, but not to the health span. So all this active aging should be followed or should be maintained despite having diseases. As we grow old, we are likely to have diseases accumulating one over the other. Most of them are non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, anemia, osteoarthritis. So many diseases will come one by one. That was earlier concept that the diseases are of old age. Now, because of lifestyle changes, many people are developing diseases, especially non-communicable diseases at the age of 40, age of 35. And imagine what problems they'll have at the age of 60 or 65, which I will share to you. So active aging has to be maintained despite having n number of diseases or without diseases. Now, what is important? How we grow old and how we maintain the health during old age all depends upon how good we are maintaining the health in the middle age. That is between 30 to 60 years. If you are maintaining good health at this age, between 30 to 60 years, our old age definitely will be active aging, will be an example of active aging. So I will just give a concept of how the disease takes place in the patient. I'll just tell you, an old man comes with saying that I feel breathless. The moment I start walking, I feel breathless. The moment I climbing stairs, I feel breathless. So it is what because of this, what happens? He will stop moving around even in the home. Earlier, he used to go to the temple outside. He used to go to meet his friends, but now he has stopped because breathlessness. Now, what is the reason? If you examine as a geriatrician, when I do a thorough examination, I first tell him to open the mouth and see that he has got a poor dentures. So that is the first thing that attends to the geriatrician or any person for that matter, that oral health is a mirror image of our inner health. So poor dentures leads to reduced intake of the food. So what this will happen? This will lead to constipation. This constipation leads to bleeding. Not only constipation, it also the nutritional amount that we require for our body is not met because of the poor dentures. The patient cannot eat properly, chew the food properly, and because of that, they start reducing the intake of the food. That leads to constipation. This further leads to bleeding from the anal canal, leads to piles, what we call as hemorrhoids, that produces anemia, and anemia leads to breathlessness. So this is a viscous cycle that takes place in the older people. Only because, why I'm telling you this is just because breathlessness is the, if a 30-year-old person comes to me with breathlessness, I had not thought of all these things. Whereas in an old man, I had to look what can be the cause of breathlessness. Anemia. Why anemia? Because of poor dentures. Yes, it is a possible. So this is one example I'm quoting you. This is how the older people they start neglecting. Ata vay झालंय. I'm old now. Why should I bother? Breathlessness is a part of old age. That is the wrong concept they are having. Dentures. When we tell them to go to have a new set of dentures, आता जायचंच आहे. वय झालं आता 70 झाले आता जायचंच आहे. आता किती दात घालायचं? That's again the wrong concept. Many people say that why should I take now? Anyway, I'm going. But what is important from all of us is we should ensure that they have a good food intake, good quality of life, and they should be active as much as possible in the last year of their life. So, in that concept, I just give a small example wherein multiple small problems which can be prevented, which can be corrected, can lead to catastrophe. So, this is what happens in the geriatric medicine or the practice, what we see in our practice. So, older peoples, with due respect, they are the most experienced, most respected, and the full of wisdom people in the society. And the message for the older people here is aging is not a disease. It is a physiological process that is taking place. If anybody today is crossing 60 or 70, he should be felt blessed that he is blessed that he is crossing 70. And most of the older people, they say that this is our friends. So we have to live with them. And many are not ready to accept. So that is another problem. Our older people are subjected to ageism from the house, in the society, even in the medical line of treatment. So that should be avoided. Just an 80-year-old man, I was not taken to the surgery for the fractured neck of femur. She had a fall. She was well-to-do, and she was not willing. Her family members telling, "Oh, she's so old. Why to do surgery? She's old. Why to do surgery?" Then when we convince them, she can walk around. She can walk around after surgery. Why don't you get it done? So there's a lot of convincing. Then we ensure that she is fit for surgery and rehabilitation. Then she starts walking around. So we should stop ageism. Just because age factor is there, we cannot stop treating them or giving them the best to maintain the quality of life. Despite so many problems, so many diseases, the older persons are so smart that they maintain their dignity. And of course, we in the middle-aged group people, we must always ensure we explore the wisdom that is there in the older people so that we can carry a good habits and good manners with us. So looking at the disease patterns in the older people, as I told you, diseases in N. Now I told you that we are seeing heart attack at the age of 30, 25, diabetes at the age of 35, hypertension at the age of 40. So these were not heard 20 years back. They are now very common in this age group. So what will happen when they reach 60 or 65? They will have complications of these diseases. Hypertension can lead to stroke, heart attack at the age of 65. Diabetes can lead to renal failure, kidney failure at the age of 60. So at that time, the quality of life rapidly deteriorates. So new diseases also occur in the old age. Okay, apart from these non-communicable diseases, they can have communicable diseases like pneumonia, tuberculosis, and they can have neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinsonism, dementia, and they can have fall. So many diseases they can have in the old age, apart from the disease that they have in engaged. And at any given older man, majority of the older people have minimum 3 diseases they are living with. Okay, so they are taking at least 5 drugs. So that another issue that comes to how it prevents an active aging. And the older people keep blaming on the age. If they had a fall today in the morning in the home, they keep on blaming on the age. Why is halai padlo? That is not the reason. There is some reason. If an older man falls, there is some reason that has to be identified. I am becoming weak. My appetite is reducing because of old age. No, that is wrong. That is a wrong notion. Aging is a physiological process and not the disease. That it has to be understood. And older people are also very smart, wherein they keep trying all types of pathies, allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, Unani, all the sorts of, and the drugs mentioned meant for other friends, they start using, which is a dangerous practice which should be avoided. They should stick to only one drug modality. Okay. Now coming to the disease pattern in the older people, from the clinician point of view, what I like to tell to all the audience here is, whenever the old man develops a disease, the deterioration is very rapid, while recovery is very, very slow. This everybody has to understand that this is very important thing, because they keep coming and telling, I'm still feeling weak, I'm still feeling weak, I'm not recovering. Yes, the recovery is very, very slow in the older people. It may take 15 days, 20 days, or 1 month. And many diseases are preventable, which needs to be prevented. I will be sharing how which diseases can be prevented. And many diseases are due to ignorance. Most of them say, I am fine. Why should I get that? If even this mild cataract has come, then I am fine. I don't want to do. I'll wait for some more time. And the stage they will reach to the irreparable or unoperable cataract, then they feel repenting. So most of the diseases because of ignorance. And rule of multiple is common in the older people. Multiple diseases, multiple drugs, multiple comorbidities, and multiple disabilities. Most of these are seen in a same person. Now, a old man of 75-year-old, he cannot see clearly, cannot hear properly, he has a poor dentures, he had a osteoarthritis of the knee. All these are the disabilities in him. So these are the people who are challenged, not only for the caregivers, family members, but also for the clinicians. So the good thing is that 2 diseases are now included in the disability group by WHO, and one Parkinsonism is included as a disabled by Government of India as well. Whereas recently, a week back, the government of WHO has involved dementia also as an disabled in the older people, the condition of disabled. So these things we need to create awareness among the people so that they can get the benefit of this. So as I was telling you, there are multiple problems concerned to the mental health, physical health, social health, disabilities, quality of life we talk about, and this cannot be treated by one person. We need a team. We need a team. We need a team of doctor, a nurse, social worker, caregiver, government policies as well, and NGOs. So many people have a part in providing care for the older people, in ensuring active aging for them. So we need a coordinated team efforts in making our seniors. The World Health Organization recently said that a person who is 60 years today will be living for another 20 years. Now, what you are going to do for next 20 years? Most of the older people, they just retired. They come to our clinic and say, sir, I am now retired. What should I do? They just come for our opinion. I said, start working. Arey sir, 30 साल से वही काम कर रहे हैं and you are telling me to work again. So this is how the concept thing goes on. We want our older people to be active, not only just to earn money. He may have enough money, but just to keep his mind active, his body active, we should work. So how next 20 years will be spent to maintain a good health is very, very vital for the older people as we plan our pensions and after our retirement at the age of 58, we should start planning how 20 years should be spent next actively with our mental health and physical health. So what the important message I want to give to audience today is the predictors of poor health outcome. If the old man had a fall today in the home or in the garden, or he has multiple attempts of falls, he has a bad prediction for health. He should be immediately evaluated why he's fallen. Hypoglycemia, those who are having diabetes, if they go for frequent hypoglycemia, being abused, if there is a domestic violence in the home, the older people who are being abused, they survive 6 years less compared to the other people who are not abused. That is scientific evidence. Depression, we need to identify older people in depression and bring them out so that they can lead a quality of life. Frequent hospitalization, most of the older people develop plenty of diseases after every 6 months, 1 year, and that is not a good sign. Inappropriate polypharmacy means they take multiple drugs. Every unwanted drugs they keep taking, other than the what doctors have prescribed. And if they are habituated to alcohol, that's a bad prediction of the health. And of course, self-neglect. Some of the older people, to seek the seek the caregivers' attention, they keep neglecting themselves. So that is also not a good sign in the older people. So older people should be prepared. Most of the older people are prepared because we don't know which person will end up with fractured neck femur tomorrow and he has to depend upon his caregivers. So dependency, loneliness, widowhood, all these are the part of the old age. So as a part of our aging process, the older people should also be prepared by the mind that I am going to face, may not face, that's a good thing, may face, but be prepared. Acceptance, why me? I never ate tobacco, but why developed cancer? Acceptance has to be there, and if any disease they develop, they have to accept and they to start living with it. Bereavement was losing a very close friend, close spouse. So slowly they will come out of that, and they have to accept that it is going to bomb. In this context, women are very good acceptors in the life. So they are more practical than the men. So women accepts whatever comes to her, she accepts happily, and she what we have seen in the older people in our practice is older women come out of bereavement very early than the men. So they have fear that I may die tomorrow or I may fall tomorrow, just unassuming that their wrong thing will happen with them, and insecure. If they are staying alone, it is insecure, they feel insecure, or nobody is there to care for them, or they have children but they are not caring for them. A lot of issues are there, they feel insecure. Now, when an old man comes to our clinic, what I follow in my clinic is the 5 predictors. How is your appetite? How is your bladder habits, bowel habits, sleep, and the quality of life or activity of daily living? If all 5 are okay, then the health of the older person is okay, is good. If any one of them is a problem, if he has a problem with them, then he has a problem. He has a problem. So we'll go through what are these. So appetite, desire to have food is reduced. Okay, and sometimes they are bored with the same food every day. So they want they want at least hot food to be served every day, fresh food to be served, variety of the foods to be served. That is very, very important. And the most again important, they may have good appetite. The daughter-in-law prepares a very good food, but they have very poor dentures. They are only on Ganji. That will not give sufficient vitamins and nutrients and proteins to the patient. So again, I'm coming back to the dentures. This is the way the patient manages the dentures. It's a wrong method. They should not be kept like this and clean. So these are the certain tips we tell the caregivers that this is not the right way how you should maintain. So appetite depends upon the multiple issues. And as I mentioned that oral health is a mirror image of your inner health. So dental care, use of proper dentures, yearly the changing the dentures, and adequate hydration improves your appetite. Improves your appetite. Apart from the diseases that they may be having, which as a clinician we identify them and treat, but drinking adequate water and eating regular food, good food, along with the family members improves appetite. And nowadays, the daughter-in-laws are using the chatpata masalas and all for to improve the taste. That should be they're promoted in the family. And most of the times, what is important is all grandchildren should be allowed to share the food with the grandparents in the home so that they can eat adequately. Again, coming to this denture, this is very important because I keep telling my patients that if your oral cavity is good, if you are well hydrated, then you don't have any diseases. So how to take care of your dentures is very important. And most of the older people think that once it is fitted, it's fine. No, they have to meet their dental surgeon once in a year and ensure sometimes the size of the mandible reduces, or again they have to change the dentures. Second thing is the constipation. I was telling you about the bladder. This affects the health very badly. This is one of the poor indicator of quality of life. Patients with constipation, some people purposely create a constipation in them. I have many people with osteoarthritis knee. They tell me that we purposely eat less so that we avoid going to attend the nature's calls every day. So once in 3 days, we want to go to and attend the call because our joints are so painful that we cannot squat. So some people are create purposefully the constipation, and some they have the constipation because of many drugs, decrease reduced intake of water. They don't do any types of exercises, and they eat less green leaf vegetables. So we should promote to prevent constipation, adequate water intake, the food rich in green leaf vegetables, fruits, whichever is feasible for the given patient looking at his condition. So constipation should be avoided in all the older people because it has negative impact on hypertension and heart conditions that can even precipitate an heart attack and the stroke in the patient. Coming to bladder, we get a lot of patients. I get up every hour in the night to pass urine. This is not at all a good thing. This is a poor quality of life. Night is meant to sleep. If you are getting up hourly to pee, then this is not a good sign. There is some problem. So from the clinician point of view, we try to identify the cause. The common cause for this is uncontrolled diabetes or a prostate enlargement. So apart from that, if we find any other cause, we try to ensure that is done. Despite all the treatment modalities, if the older person has no control over the bladder, what he does, he has to, we ask him, how far is your toilet or the restroom from your bedroom? If he says this is too far, and in the midnight, I have to wake up every hourly, so he is likely to fall. Please remember, the old man, if he is getting up in the midnight to the toilet every hourly in the night, he is likely to fall. So what we did, what we advised them is avoid drinking coffee or caffeinated drink alcohol in the night hours. The alcohol should be stopped totally. Don't drink water after 9 p.m. So that will, you can drink adequate water in the daytime, but not after 9 p.m. And if there is infection, you can get tested. So if the problem, I had an old man who has to get down 10 steps every time he used to go out to attend the nature's call. So night, this was not feasible. I said, this is not an issue because you're likely to fall. So what we advised them, we told him to keep a big bucket, okay, next to their bed in the night. So whenever you get the pee, you desire to pass urine, you pass in the bucket in the night. In the morning, you can clean it, and you can whole day you can go down and sit with your family. So some simple things to help him out to avoid getting down the stairs and a fall. So simple things can help the older people to prevent a fall in the night. This gentleman who had come to me, he has also got urgency of passing urine, and you can see that he has already tied 3 tires of the. Whenever he wants to pass urine, he has to remove 3 knots. So this is very difficult. So all these things we assess as a geriatrician. It's not only to know what is your problem, how are you overcoming it. I just asked him to show me what type of belt you use. Or what he showed me I had to remove 3 knots. But by the time I go to pass urine, most of the times it leaks in the trouser, and that was creating much of problem for him, humiliating for him. That's how he has come to us, and we trained him how to overcome that. Then the fourth is the sleep. How best do you sleep? Most of the older people keep telling, I don't get sleep, I don't get sleep. Okay, what time you sleep? 9 o'clock. What time you get up? 2 o'clock. 5 hours strong sleep, very sound sleep is enough. It is not the
quantity of the sleep, how long you have slept. It's the quality of sleep that matters in the old age. Even if you have slept for 5 hours, the sound sleep, it is a good sleep. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, so we have to convince the patients not to drink again coffee in the night. Stop watching TV or mobile phones along the grandchildren up to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. They also do the same things along with the grandchildren. And if they are having or living with depression, loneliness, they are likely to have and daytime naps. They sleep for 4 to 5 hours in the daytime. It's very difficult to get a sleep in the night. So let them have a nap of half an hour to 1 hour in the afternoon, and let them go to the bed late night, maybe at 10:30 or 11, so that they can have a good night's sleep. And most importantly, what we should look is what disturb the sleep. As I told you in the previous patient, I get up every hourly to pass urine. That is disturbing sleep. So we have to treat or correct the urine problem and not putting him on the sleeping pills. So that is very, very important in the older people. And fifth one, which detects the life quality of life, is instrumental activity of daily living and activity of daily living. So it is a very simple concept that if the old man is riding a scooter every day, or he is going on his own to the office or a market or a shopping and coming back, that what we constitute as instrumental activity. And if he is independent of having his bath, and he feed himself, and he walks around, he dresses himself, it is activity of daily living. Now, why I am trying to show you this is, what is happening. What happens here is, when the old man develops a disease, this is the first one to be lost. Instrumental activity of daily living. If an old man has stopped riding the scooter for last 2 days, there is some problem. There is a problem. Okay, that is how we have to analyze. Then he stops taking a bath. Then he stops. He needs support to go to restroom, and then fifth day he is brought to the hospital for various complaints. But it has all started given the importance. All the people who are today here as a August audience, please try to know if a old person in your home has stopped doing any one of these things for last 2 or 3 days, then there is a serious health issue in it. Okay, so that is what has to be understood. Then any change in ideal, suspect he has a problem. Then coming to the active aging part, what the old person should keep doing, he must have a nutritious food. Okay, and avoid the food that are hard to digest. Many of them come, shall I eat that? I tried this, I tried that, and I developed acidity, constipation, so many things. So eat the food that is palatable, eat the food at the regular time, and eat along with the family. That is more important. And serve the food in the color bowls, not in the white color bowls. Serve the food in colorful bowls like yellow, red, green. So that will improve the taste of the food in the older people and add some chapatas in the food so that they can consume more. Most important thing in the older people is how we communicate. It may be between the son and the daughter, son and the father, grandfather, doctor and the patient, anybody. Communication holds an important aspect in reaching the older people. So always look at them when you talk and make an eye-to-eye contact, and ensure that you are away from your distractors like mobile phone and all when you are talking with the older person. And older people, though they are short of hearing, they are very smart in lip reading. They can do lip reading from you and they can understand what is happening. So whenever you are talking to the older person, speak in the short sentences, speak clearly, don't shout. Don't shout. They will get irritated. Why are you shouting? That's how they react. Okay. And sometimes you can even use the cues, gestures, like what happened, how is it you're passing, do you have a headache? Just simple gestures we put them. And most of the time, older people, when they come meet their friends or a doctor, they seek privacy. They want to tell something which they cannot share in the presence of their daughter-in-law or son. So always you should think that we should give a private area for them too. Now coming to active brain, how the old man should maintain, the older person should maintain their brain active throughout till they are alive. So apart from nutrition, activities of daily living. Now we're coming to the brain. So they can continue to do their hobbies like play music, chant the mantras if they are fond of. It's it is now found scientific evidence is huge on chanting the mantras that helps the brain become strong. Learn new things like computer or mobile phones, play games, and clapping. In most of the senior citizen forums, we tell the older people whenever you go for a morning walk, keep clapping. So that will improve the supply of blood supply to the brain and improve your well-being. And sometimes this photograph showing what the activities what you do daily with the right hand, you can try doing with left hand from tomorrow. Some activities with the left hand tomorrow, so that your other half of the brain start improving their function. And I have seen many older people, they will be solving these games. Whenever see them sitting in the bus or the railways, they will be solving such games. They should continue doing this. Whichever games they feel like, or they should keep doing. Next is the mental health. The most important aspect of the senior citizens is the mental health. No matter how rich you are, whatever society status, mental health plays an important role in the quality of life and active aging. If older person is mentally sound, he will be active throughout his life. So in home, the people can celebrate their birthdays. So the old person can keep doing his gardening and reading and enjoy the TV serials and the oldies what he wants to see. And always as a caregiver, as a doctor, we appreciate good things in the older people. So whatever good in him, we appreciate him. They feel so happy in the clinic and they come out laughing. Doctor साहब ये तो किसी ने अभी तक पहचाना नहीं. You saw that. They appreciate when you appreciate certain good things in them. If they are taking drugs regularly, you appreciate them. So that they will continue to do so. And I always keep telling them, अभी डॉक्टर साहब उम्र हो गया क्या बचना है? We tell them you are bound to live for 100 years. So again, that that boosts them that yes, I am back to live for 100 years. And we should tell them to keep making new friends. Allow them to meet the old friends. That is very important. The caregiver should also understand that always allow the older person in the home to meet their old friends as well as make the new friends, and allow them to wish to do whatever they want to do in the home and give them a private time. Very important. Give them a privacy. Let them be in the room for 3 hours, 4 hours without disturbing. That is required for the good mental health in the older people. We talked so many things, and it has been discussed in the previous talks also regarding depression, loneliness, fear of losing friends. I have a set of people around 85 years, and they are losing their friends one by one. And now they are in such a state of depression. When I asked them, what is that you want? He said, I want a friend who will come and play cards with me, because I had such a big circle of friends. Every day we used to spend 4 hours playing cards, having tea, having masti. Now nobody is there with me. And now generation, they don't know to play cards. So that's another, everybody is playing on internet or mobile. So that is what they want. Somebody to spend time with them, share the thoughts, and they play with them. And if any older person has an idea of suicidal ideas, is in very dangerous state, he should be immediately consulted to the physician or a psychiatrist. Now, again, I was telling you about dementia, forgetfulness. So, forgetfulness of aging, normal aging, as well as dementia. There are so many things that takes place in the older people. So, what tips I like to give to the older people is, again, you keep their mind active. Sorry, keep your mind active, let your hobbies be active, teach your grandchildren. This is what the one of the caregiver in my dementia patient she did was she tried to put her address and mobile number on the shirts that the old man used to use. She brought us 6 shirts, and every day the shirt used to be washed, a new shirt used to put. And even if he is missing or lost, he has left from home without informing, the neighbors would immediately recognize him and give a call that your father is here, please come and take it. This is a very innovative idea done by one of the caregiver made in India, made in Bijapur. So we should always think of the things that we can do for our older people at our own level. So if there is an old person with dementia in your home, always ensure keep one set of keys of your house in some of your best friends, because you don't know that old man may throw the keys in the dustbin someday. And always ensure to check the dustbin every day before giving it to the municipality if any important documents or keys have been thrown by the old person in his dementia. And try to keep as much as medicines away from them, because you don't know what tablets they may swallow without taking into their absence. And ensure that there is an injury prevented in them. Also allow them to do what they want to do. The older person should be allowed to do a painting if he's hobby, if he's reading, if he's dancing. So this is one of the best message in WhatsApp I got. I feel everybody should read this. So at the old age, what you want? Okay, so you should be happy. So this is the best message I found. So I am sharing with you all. So this is how the older person should continue to do. And the warning signs that an old man develops in the home, like a false, uncontrolled urine. He cannot control his passing urine. He has developed ulcers or the gluteal region. He is confused. Morning he gets up and asks, "Who are you?" Every day he sees the daughter-in-law bringing the tea. One fine day he gets up and asks, "Who are you? Where am I?" So this is what is called a confusion. It has a serious medical problem. Immediately he should be shifted to the hospital. So all these are the symptoms which should be immediately shifted to the hospitals. Now coming to the immunization. What is important in active aging is we should also prevent certain diseases in the older people. So what is that we should do is by immunization. We all have heard about COVID vaccines. Yes, like that, there are various vaccines that are available to prevent communicable diseases in the older people. Vaccines are good, they improve the immunity in the older people, and persistence should be there. Every year, they should continue to take the schedule of the vaccine, and it reduces the morbidity. Just I show this slide. All of you can go through this. So these are the common vaccines that an old man should and must take during his life period. Now, why these vaccines are important? Because older people are now undergoing a lot of surgeries after 60 years. It may be a cataract surgery, it may be a joint transplantation surgery, replacement surgery, or any major surgery. So there, at least we can prevent hepatitis and tetanus being there, and communicable disease like pneumonia can be prevented, like influenza and pneumococcal pneumonia, which can be taken. Influenza should be given once in a year. Pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine should be given once in 5 years. And now, as you all know, COVID vaccine has to be taken by all the older people. At our geriatric clinic, every year we practice in the month of October, all the older people, senior citizens, to come and get their vaccine on influenza, and that prevents influenza pneumonia in the next 6 months. So next, after nutrition, brain, coming to lifestyle modification, we have to keep them motivating that keep doing exercise, go for a morning walk. Most of the older people say, "अभी क्या ये उम्र में exercise क्या करना है साहब, थक गए." The best exercise is walking. Just go for a walk. It doesn't require anything. You don't have to spend any money for that. Just go for a walk and come back as much as you possible and avoid all the bad habits. And coming to the most important thing, that is the falls prevention. This is very, very important. The old man should not fall either in the home or in the hospital. So if they are using the loose slippers, they should be avoided. If they are using the bifocal lens, they are prone to fall. It is very, very important. The old person falls when he's getting down the steps. That is more important. So always let him climb the steps, but when he's getting down, let him come by the lift or elevator. And using the dhoti or lungi, of course, tribute to R.K. Lakshman sir, very much from Pune. So all these are risk factors for the. So the older people, if we have a torn rugs in the home, that is again the problem. I advise all the people to keep the lights on in the bathroom every night. That is very, very important to prevent a fall in the older people, especially during night hours. So if you are at the risk of fall, use stick. That is very, very important aspect that one should follow in the old age. Many people say, why should I use stick? It is against my dignity. No, you prevent a fall. That is more important. You will have a dignified life. That is very important. Avoid unnecessary drugs. Avoid using B-complex multiple vitamins unnecessarily. That will not boost any way your nutrition factor. Eat food regularly. Use drugs cautiously and don't use the drugs prescribed for your friends or other spouse. Okay, so this is what happened in my hospital. This we do a weekly course in the OPD. We tell them to bring all the drugs that they're taking in the home. This lady brought so many drugs she was taking. All she required was only 5 drugs. So this is what we practice in geriatric medicine. Stop unnecessary drugs. Take only the drugs which are required. This old man is so much bent upon taking so many drugs that he says, if I don't follow these drugs, I don't get to sleep because I have the fear that I will die. I may die tomorrow if I don't take these drugs. These are the concepts that the old people have, and you have to overcome this and convince them and stop the drugs. So we at our geriatric clinic, we have formed such packets wherein we give the drugs in the format in the pouches, easy to open and mention morning, afternoon, night, and even those who cannot read, they can at least look at this picture in the night and all they can take. Okay, so that is very, very important. And the last concept is about prevention of the bed sores in the home. So you can, with the older man is bedridden, for this is messages for the one whose older people are bedridden, they can keep the pillow just below the legs to prevent the ulcers here. They can use the air bed to prevent ulcers. And when they are sleeping, always ensure to put the pillow in the back and in between the thighs so that prevent ulcer formation. Now, modalities of care. So we in older people, it is not just writing the medicine and sending them. For them to have an active aging, even if they have developed cancer. This is a lady who had come with the cancer in the last stage. Whatever she used to swallow, it used to come through this mouth. It was foul smelling. No attendants were willing to stay with her. So she is the one lady who requires a palliative care, not only for cancers, it is now for Alzheimer's disease also. Rehabilitation has an important role. Please understand, though it is slow recovery, all the patients with stroke can undergo rehabilitation and they can have a good life. Hospice care for the older people who are in the terminal illness should be given for the family members. Now, coming to the last concept of the caregiver has a very, very important role in active aging of the older person in their home. So the caregiver should always try to do the things that are possible in their own home. Don't try to copy paste from the American Association or European Association, which is not possible in our country and which is not feasible also. So seniors should also respect the one who gives the care to them, and caregivers also should respect the older persons. And we should never talk loose and we should not lose hopes when we are providing care for the older people. The burnout commonly seen in the older people, providing the care for the older people, especially the daughter-in-law or the daughter or son. So we have to address those issues in the caregivers and ensure that we do a caregiver meeting once in 3 months. So if they have got any issues, they can come and discuss with us. So try to be a professional and learn from the websites now. Many like International Longevity Center is doing so many programs to train the caregivers, so the people can.
Hello,
take
is the program still on?
Yeah, it's another two. Another
Hello,
2 minutes.
host, is
Another
the
2
program
minutes.
still on?
So this is a see, this is how the old men also they don't care for the caregiver, the son who is taking care. This is a very much fact that the son who is taking care of him and he ignoring him. So that should not be happen. From the senior citizens also should respect the one who is providing care to them. That's very, very important. And lastly, we must know which utility aids can be used in the older people. Again, this promotes active aging. Any older person who has giddiness tend to fall. We should always ensure that he uses a stick so that he will not fall and that he will not develop any fracture related problems. So this is how, and even using spectacles, hearing aids, all promotes healthy and active aging. So we at the geriatric clinic, we have senior citizen friendly services like a ramp. The moment they get down from their vehicle, we have a landing at the entrance gate. From them, they can come and we have a rails for them to walk around with support, and there are no hurdles. And even the cot is at a very low level so that they just come and sit. They don't have to climb. And we also have a wheelchairs for those who are waiting. They can recliner wheelchairs, and it has also a commode system wheelchair. So all these facilities we are making available for the older people at our OPD so that they can have a comfort and in the house. So the tips to keep the older people healthy. So understand the changing needs. And I request all the audience to give some privacy time for the older people every day, at least 1 to 2 hours. Involve them in your decisions. Keep them socially active. Take them to a marriage. Take them to a party. Doesn't matter. No, nobody will say anything to them. Take them to the social functions. Listen to them. This is very, very important. Listening to the older person is very important. At least give 15 to 30 minutes to them to understand what they want to say, and they will never request you for money or the high ends. So if they are healthy, they don't have disease, still then a yearly checkup of blood pressure, eyes, ears, oral cavity must be done in all the older people, because most of the older people, the diseases are silent. And motivate them and self-motivation. These two are very, very important. Now, coming to the new concept of older people, what they can do, they can write a medical bill. Now, most of the older people, when they come to my hospital with serious condition, they say, "Don't put me on ventilator. Don't put me on ventilator. Let me die without that. Tell my son, don't put me on ventilator." Very openly they say. Okay, and now the concept of medical bill is coming. You can write what all you don't want to be done when you are admitted in the hospital. That can be followed. End of life care issues is very, very important. Once the terminal illness like dementia, cancers are diagnosed, we can discuss about end of life care issues. The issues which are not covered in your life, we can continue to do that. And some older people give advanced directives, what should be done, what should not be done. My grandmother used to tell me that even after my death, you please visit this home and keep meeting your mamas and chachas. That was the advanced directive she was giving to me. And she was also telling in which hospital she should be admitted if she feels sick. All these are the advanced directives that the older people keep giving to us. So just to conclude, active aging is necessity and not a luxury. And this can be practiced even the poor person or a rich person. It doesn't require any expenses. Let us all be a part of solutions. This is what I want the message to be given. So I think I have given how solutions can be found. Out of the box thinking will help. Our main goal as a family member, as a clinician, as a doctor should be to prevent a disability in an older person. And what is important, I was talking about lifespan and the health span. It is not how long one lives. It is how active one lives. That is very, very important. So that was the concept that we brought. And I request all the older people, senior citizens, not to try unscientific methods for the diseases that will create more problems and it will make them bedridden at times. So older people are the reservoir of experience. Let us give them love, care, and respect. So with these words, I thank you sincerely, all the audience, for your patience. And thanks to my team members in my genetic clinic and of course my university, which has been supportive for last 13 years in all my activities. And of course, I'm in debt to my senior citizens. My patients are also have joined this CME today. And I pray in God that all of you have an active aging. Thank you for your patience and thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Ambali. And it was really a great lecture. I personally learned a lot from your lecture. So thank you so much. And let's be the part of solution. So as you rightly mentioned, we are going to take few questions and we have some time. So please raise your hand, or I've requested everybody to write something in the chat box. Sir, 21 senior citizens or people actually watching on YouTube also. So we are taking anything on them. Yes.
We can have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any questions? Please unmute yourself. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gangadharan, for that. Okay. Malti Dai? Yes. Yes.
आय हॅव नो एनी क्वेश्चन. परंतु डॉक्टरांनी जे सांगितलं त्याच्याबद्दल 1 मिनिटं मी मराठीत बोलले तर चालेल ना?
हो हो बोला तुम्ही, चालेल.
ओके. ज्येष्ठांनी निरामय आयुष्य जगण्यासाठी काय करावे, काय करू नये आणि येणाऱ्या अडचणीवर कशी मात करावी हे थोडक्यात आयुर्वेदानुसार आहार, विहार आणि व्यायाम ह्या त्रिसूत्री अनुसार सुखी समाधानी जीवन जगण्यासाठी जीवनशैली कशी असावी याबाबत माननीय डॉक्टर आनंद अंमली यांनी उत्तम प्रबोधनात्मक आपल्याला सविस्तर मार्गदर्शन केलं आणि त्यानुसार आपल्याला व्हिडिओ पण त्यांनी दाखवले. त्याबद्दल त्यांना धन्यवाद. आणि तसे हा वेबिनार मध्ये आम्हाला सहभागी केल्याबद्दल इंटरनॅशनल लॉंगॉविटी सेंटरला मी खूप खूप धन्यवाद.
थँक्यू मॅम. नक्की. तुमचा क्वेश्चन काय मॅम? मी त्यांना विचारते. प्रश्न विचारा. थँक्यू. मालतीताई, तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन आहे का? प्रश्न आहे का?
आधीच सांगितलं ना, आय हॅव नो एनी क्वेश्चन.
नो क्वेश्चन. ओके ओके. मला आधी वाटलं आहे. हो हो, नक्की नक्की. थँक्यू. थँक्यू मालतीताई. ओके. येस मॅम. अमृता बघा मॅम. मॅम प्लीज अनम्यूट युअर सेल्फ. बघा मॅम.
Just to unmute.
येस मॅम.
I said it is a very practical approach he has suggested, and what they have been following in their center, and it has big lesson for all the senior citizens. This can be repeated. Are you recording the meetings?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Yeah, that will be very nice. You can replay sometimes or put on YouTube for your
Right.
the seniors.
Yes ma'am. It is available on
Thank
YouTube
you, sir.
also, so we are circulating.
Okay.
Thank you ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Dr. Gangadharan has something to say. I thought he raised his hand. I'm not sure.
No, he actually reacted and clapping gesture. Yes. Okay. Any questions on YouTube?
Any suggestions to improve my experiences, or anybody wants to share that this could have been done better, I would have been more welcome. I would expect some criticisms rather than okay. And some seniors can tell me that next time you should do like this. I think I will follow that.
Right.
Maybe Dr. Gangadharan can add some comments.
I cannot
He
add
has
comments,
been
man. Yes, when Dr. When
He is my mentor. So he can.
Okay.
Right.
and
Dr.
I'm
Shigli?
very happy to listen to.
Right.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Hello?
actually, I like Dr. Anand's presentation quite a lot, because even I have somebody, my own father-in-law, who is bedridden now after almost 81 years of working, and he himself is a doctor. And at this point of time, I realized that when we are not actually getting any caregiver and the family members have to take care of him, how difficult it is. And even we, for us to accept that he was working all these days, and now we will be telling him, don't do this, don't do that. So, you know, this is when you go through all this in your own life, so you actually understand. And I really appreciate that sir has given us some practical tips of how to handle. So thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Thank you ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Anand, that was a good show, Anand, as usual. You speak well and you are becoming an expert in talking. I think every time you are improving your performance. Great show.
Thank
I
you,
just
sir.
wanted to listen to you. I just wanted to listen to you and be part of the ILC and you all for learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for
Bye-bye.
joining.
Bye.
Yes.
Question. Bye.
Okay. Okay, we are actually, if any questions come up, sir, then we will contact you and then we'll try to see if we can solve anything.
Sure, I have shared my email.
Email ID. Yes, yes, sir.
Anybody can.
Sure.
Even Dr. Vijay is there. And, so many of the people who are caring for the older people.
Right,
This
right.
program today. So Hello,
आणि
Vijay.
डॉक्टर आनंदला पण प्रश्न विचारणार.
Okay, sure. Raza ma'am? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Ambali, thank you so very much for being here with us. We had a wonderful and very informative session from you. I think there were quite a few participants, not just here, but quite a few were listening and watching in on YouTube. In fact, some of
Yes.
your points, like the concept of health span and lifespan and how different they the comprehension of the concepts of health span and lifespan were very beautifully explained to you. So I appreciate that, and also the point that you made about how assistive devices or utility aids, as you said, promote active aging, because there are many who feel that when you use a walking stick or any assistive device, it's kind of it affects their dignity. But this concept of you explaining how it helps promote active aging, I think that also needs to be advocated to most seniors who feel a little hesitant to use assistive devices. Thank you so much. Your scope of the presentation was immense, and really enjoyed it. And we had so many experts themselves listening into this session of yours. I'd like to thank each and every one of you who have tuned into this webinar. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Dr. Ambali, our sponsors, our supporters, Halda Chemicals, my team of ILCI who's been working. And thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Ambali, once again. It was really good to see you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
my dear.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you for joining.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.